It's Human Rights Day, and every year on December 10th, countries around the world commemorate the day the United Nations General Assembly adopted in 1948 the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Some of those rights include the right to equality, the right to life, the right to education, and the right to own property. On Thursday, the United Nations Trinidad and Tobago hosted a virtual dialogue about what it means to recover better during this pandemic. Topics included the impact of the digital divide on education and food security in a pandemic. Kimberly De Souza tells us more.
Addressing the impact of the digital divide on education, lecturer at the University of the West Indies, Murala Sambucharan, said as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, over 60,000 students in the country are without information and communication technology services or devices. This, she said, presented a few challenges which will have long-term effects, the most critical being learning loss.
So in terms of the COVID-19 pandemic, the story when schools reopen is really going to be one of inequity in opportunities that students experience during this break from physical school. And we need to think about how far disadvantaged students have fallen behind compared to their counterparts who were able to access online classes consistently.
However, all is not lost. Ms. Sambucharan said the educational sector needs to place emphasis on bridging the gaps in inequities, particularly the lack of access to critical services in the sector. Activist, organic farmer and chocolate maker Gillian Goddard believes that even before the pandemic, the right to food and nutrition was not a given. She said government needs to implement more policies to ensure food security for its citizens.
Currently, our government in power is doing some work on land policy, but this is something that really should have happened decades ago, that the people who are planting the food have ownership or at least some level of control over the land, which is not the case in Trinidad. I saw a study the other day, I can't remember the exact figure, but it's over 50% of our food is being grown on squatted land for which people have no title. That does not lead to food security.
Ms. Goddard believes proper policies with respect to market access and organizational access to distribution of goods are needed. Kimberly De Souza, TTT News.